First, what was happening in Leon's life during the making of the Five Heartbeats?
Wow, what was happening in my life during the film? You know, I was just really, you know, making my way in Hollywood, having fun and, you know, getting a lot of work. And, you know, it was a unique experience for me in the sense that, you know, working with Robert Townsend and working with the rest of the cast and stuff, you know, I was introduced to, you know, I was really getting involved with Black Hollywood. You know, most of the movies I'd done before, you know, were pretty much, you know, major studio films, but not by no means considered, you know, black films. Mm-hmm. And so that was nice. And, you know, and just having a bond, you know, with Robert, and, you know, and just felt like we were creating something that, you know, that was going to be memorable.
Mm-hmm. So even during the making, you knew that this was a special film?
We felt like it was special. We always felt like it was special. And when it tested so high at 20th Century Fox, I believe it tested higher than Home Alone. You know, they started flying us around in, you know, private jets, and we were doing all this press, and so I think everyone expected it to do, you know, really well. And, you know, whatever happened, you know, with the marketing is one thing, but it was memorable, and that's all we ask for when we do work, is for it to be remembered, you know. So,
what was the response, especially for those in the world of recording? From them who saw it? I mean, because you guys were essentially pulling many stories together to tell what life was like for black artists during that time period. What was the response from some of those artists? Do you recall anything?
The response from musicians, especially band members, from back in the day up until present day is just phenomenal. I mean, they come and grab me as though it's like, yo, you telling my story. You told our story. It's like, it's the story of so many bands in so many different ways. And so, yeah, you know, all the groups, you know, from back in the day, you know, I mean, every once in a while you might get a funny look because they think you actually stole that story from them. But it was, yeah, musicians just loved the movie, loved the Five Heartbeats.
Five Heartbeats now being released on Blu-ray. Is the story still relevant today?
Very relevant. Five Heartbeats is a movie that people come up to me every day or every week in my life and talk about. And we're talking young people, old people. They just love that movie. They love the brotherhood. They love the group coming together, and they really love the story between my character and, you know, Robert Townsend's character, Duck. You know, JT and Duck, and you know, and how, you know, love, you know, that real kind of love we have for our family members is something that's very real, and especially amongst us men, us African American men. We don't see enough of that kind of bonding on screen. We don't see enough of that kind of, you know, that love, the kind of love that we all have in our lives, the kind of love that we die for. You know, we don't see enough of that.
Looking at you, I keep thinking, Shy Brother, let's do Shy Brother.
Do you know many times a guy will come up to me and say, let's do Shy Brother? And I'm like, with who? I don't see any women around.
Man. The movie ends on a real hopeful note. I'm thinking of the scene in the church. The redemptive value in the fact that despite all the ups and downs, you know, we could survive. We could sort of begin a new chapter.
Of course.
That element, do you think that was purposeful and necessary to end the film like that?
Well, it's not the ending,
right,
but it's one of the closing scenes. And yes, it was very important. You know, each character in this story serves a purpose. He has a journey. And in good movies, we follow those different characters when it's an ensemble. And you know, the story of Eddie King Jr. and his fall from grace and his fall from even, you know, himself, the life that he probably would wish he could live, is to see that there's a chance for him to go on, you know, to get past that, you know, and have a life beyond that. I mean, I think that's something we all strive for, whether it's in our lives and our faith or anything. We hope that we can go on from whatever we've been downed by. And so that's his story, you know, and it's and it was great, and it's an important part of the story because it rides over the whole entire story. Because once you know, a lot of people don't realize to make it to the top or to be popular or something like that. I'm not going to say isn't hard because it's very hard, but what is much harder is to stay there. Mm-hmm. And what people don't realize is that you go through a lot of different things on your journeys, you know, trying to stay at the top, trying to stay relevant, trying to do the things, and, you know, and trying to migrate yourself through family and relationships and faith, and, you know, and I think the movie kind of captures all of that, at least for men.
Indeed, indeed. Where does faith stand for Leon? What is it about faith that's important to you?
Well, you know, I'm someone who was raised from a little boy, you know, going to parochial schools and, you know, being a Christian. And so, you know, what it means for me, it's a foundation. It's a foundation that gives me, you know, hope every day when I wake up, you know, about so many things. Not so much about what's even taught to me in the church, but of some things that I've learned in my life. But it's given me a foundation to always be bright about it, to always think that, you know, that's there for me. You know, because from a very early age, I've always believed that. So, you know, that's where I'm at.
How would you describe, or what do you envision if JT were alive now? What would be that character's life?
What would JT's character be like if today? I don't know. I don't know if I should tell you that.
Oh no! Is he still a womanizer? What's he doing?
Well, I don't know if I should tell you that because, you know, if there's a if there's a sequel, you know, someone might not be mad I said something.
So is there?
Oh, you got to ask Robert that. You know, I just act.
So no phone call, no contract, no.
No. I can definitely tell you there's no contract. That's for sure.
Okay.
Unless we be having a whole nother conversation.
But there is another story to be told, you think?
I think so. I think the public wants another story. You know, I think the public wants to either dip back or go forward. You know, but we'll see. You know, I'll be there to act in any capacity that they call me to do it. You know, me and Robert like this anyway, and we're going to do more work together, regardless whether it's a 5 Heartbeat sequel or whatever.
Okay, beautiful. Now, you are a singer in your own right. I didn't know that.
Yes, singer and a songwriter.
And a songwriter. So, during the making of that film, were you singing? This wasn't lip syncing for you, or was it?
Oh, no. All the voices in that movie were pre-cast. There were street singers that Robert Townsend knew, or various singers from different places and stuff. And so when we were cast after the fact, you know. And basically, actually, I think Robert kind of like fit people's voices for the, you know, those voices and stuff. And then we had to work to make them our own, you know. So that's where the acting comes in. So,
where did singing come from for you?
Wow, you know, as far as being a professional singer, you know, when I became a popular actor, they'd asked me to host so many music festivals and things like that. They knew I was a big reggae head, so I'd always host so many big festivals. And I'd be backstage, and we'd all be singing a cappella with great singers like Barris Hammond and, you know, Maxie Priest, and the list goes on. And, you know, after a while, people would say to me, you know, you should do it, you know, because you want to do it, not because you need to do it, because this is what you really want to do. And so after a while, someone asked me to be in the band, and we were doing really well in New York, but I wanted to do original music, not just cover songs. So I started my own band called The Peoples, and then we became Leon and the Peoples because I had to pull a David Ruffin on them. But no, we just got better shows that way. That's why.
Good deal. Makes sense. Makes sense. So what's next for you? What's next?
Wow, what is next for me? I don't know. Let's see. Where do I start? I have a movie coming out in February called "And Then There Is You." Then There Was You with Garcelle Bouvet and Lynn Whitfield and Greg Vaughn and Brian White. And it's romantic drama, kind of movies that the ladies like to see. Another movie is a romantic comedy called "I Really Hate My Ex." It's a very funny movie. Everyone knows I don't really hate my ex.
Yes, it's amazing.
And just finished a movie called 40 to Life, about a man, about an attorney, prosecuting attorney who, well, You see it.
I'm curious now.
Yeah, 40 to Life. 40 to Life. It's yeah, it's a good movie. Good cast. I played the lead role. It's
Okay, well, hopefully we'll be back to talk to you about that.
Yeah, definitely. It's faith-based.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, very inspirational.
Okay, and it's called 40 to Life.
40 to Life.
And that comes out?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I just make them.
You just make them.
Yeah.
When they come out,
I'm
they
not
come
in
out.
one of those offices at the studio.
All right.
Well, just looking at it like this. Oh, that movie the Leon's in. When we gonna put that out? We put that out in August 16th. Maybe.
Where was the Five Heartbeats shot? Where were you guys?
Five Heartbeats was shot in Los Angeles.
Okay, it was shot in Los Angeles.
Yes.
How long did it take? You remember?
Let's see what the shooting schedule was on the Five Heartbeats. I believe it was 11 weeks. Wow. Then you have to add 6 weeks of rehearsal, you know, dance steps and singing. So, yeah, it was a good little while.
All right, well, let's hope we see a sequel.
You know, the most important thing is I love that people love the movie. I love that people remember the movie. Doing memorable work is all I ever asked for. And, you know, at the end of the day, when people walking down the streets, whether they're, you know, a guy on the street or, you know, your fellow actor and he's quoting your lines to you, that's there for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Great. Thank you.